Hello and namaskar. I'm Rakhee Bakshee. Welcome to this very special show, Stalwarts Speak on IIPA. As you know that we've done always in the past, we've been talking to some of the bright minds and trying to get perspective, new insights from them, especially when it comes to public administration and governance in India. Another bright mind here, and I'm very enthused to talk to him, Mr. Ravi Jain, and his 2020 batch UPSC CSC examination that he's cleared after that and posted currently in DOPT. I'm going to talk to him about things and ideas that he has to share with us. The idea here is to also tell some of the other young minds as to how should they prepare for UPSC civil services examination. Sometimes they think it's a mammoth task. They don't know the strategy well. And that leads to a lot of confusion. So make it more clear for us and for the benefit of the audience as to when and how they should start.
When I think it depends on the person, when he's clear that he wants to pursue this career. So I've seen people starting preparing in their, even after the 10th, 11th examination and during their college, during their undergraduation. I personally started preparing after having an experience of 3 years after my engineering. So it depends person to person, but if someone is clear, I think the ideal point would be to start a year before the graduation ends.
And which subjects did you take?
I had my optional of psychology. I'm an engineer in instrumentation control, so I had to choose an optional which I have not studied academically. So I was interested in psychology, and I thought it would, during my preparation, it can give me opportunity to study psychology. So I took it as my optional.
So what would you suggest to other people who are watching, especially youngsters, is as to how should they choose their subjects?
So there in UPSC current syllabus, one has to choose an optional, and there are, I think, more than 20-25 subjects available. So one can go for their choice of, the study they have done. That would be the best choice. So a lawyer can choose a law optional, a chartered accountant can choose a commerce optional, an engineer with civil engineering can choose civil engineering optional, some physics graduate can take physics, English literature student can take English optional. So there are multiple options. If someone is particularly interested, like I was interested in psychology, and I thought that this can give me an opportunity to take study, so I took it because of my interest. So I think first one can see the academic background of himself or herself, and then secondly of the subject of their interest and how the subjects have recently performed in UPSC.
Sure. So, there are three parts to it, as we know. So, preliminary examination, mains, and what we now call personality test, interview.
Yes.
So, how should one prepare differently for all these three verticals?
I think personality test would be a far-fetched thing once the person starts, because one has to first clear prelims, then mains, and then they reach the stage of personality test. So for prelims, there are basic subjects which are required in mains also. So one has to study, just read the basic books like history, geography, polity, environment, science and tech. So the basic of it, once the person is conversant with the basic concepts, then they can look for the difference in the syllabus, which is not there in prelims, so to say, and which isn't there in the main. So one has to then recalibrate their strategy for mains. So for starting with the preparation, I'll say one has to clear the concepts, the basic concepts from the basic books itself.
So somebody would say that, UPSC examination preparation means slogging, means really studying for longer hours, not even talking to anyone, and that kind of concept or mindset is there. But how would you really look at the methodology and strategy? How should one break up maybe the study part? How can one be smarter in studying?
So coming back to the slogging hour part, so initially one has to study a lot because the syllabus is quite wide. So if one has interest in a subject or has the knowledge, so he will require less time. Like when I started history, I was not very much good with facts and figures. So I needed to study a bit more. So the person with a history background knows history, so he would require less time. So the number of hours is a very personal thing, but give and take, I'll say for first year of a preparation, 8 to 10 hour minimum is required. And smart study is, I think, what people who start struggle with. They have multiple sources, but according to me, if one takes a good book, like for polity, there is a wide known book by M. Lakshmikant. So if one studies that thoroughly a couple of times, one would be conversant with polity, and I don't think there would be much other sources would be required. For topic based, one can like figure out other sources.
And maybe for contemporary study, one can watch little bit of specific kind of TV or specific kind of social media.
For current affairs, I would suggest one to read a newspaper daily, and that can be either Indian Express or the Hindu. And for news, one can refer to government Sansad TV right now. And there are shows, particularly during my TV, RSTV was a particularly good one. So we used to watch shows where a topic-based discussion would happen for half an hour or so. That would give a good insight of it.
Okay. Another thing is that how do you really keep yourself motivated, sustained kind of belief in yourself and all those values that I think once you prepare, you should have?
I think most of the people who come to join civil services is to like serve the nation or contribute to the society in a way. And clearing the exam is just a means and not an end. So one has to see that way is that the goal could be achieved by clearing the examination. So the target itself is motivating. It becomes monotonous and sometimes very difficult if someone does not clear it in very first attempt, or one takes a few attempts. So one should keep in touch with the well-wishers of them, their parents, their siblings, their friends, who would help them in their judging times. So that really helps. It helped me a lot.
You took help from some seniors, as let's say, who shared their experience.
Seniors, as in who have cleared the exam, who have seen the struggle of the exam, so they would give their perspective, and it would really help a lot because a self-doubt appears when one struggles a bit during the process. So a clarity from someone who has seen that struggle would like be insightful and helpful and keep oneself motivated.
You know, some of my experience has been when I talk to some of them who want to prepare actually and go for this kind of a career in UPSC, feel, oh, what if I fail? So there's a lot of anxiety about it because there are a lot of expectations. It's a very high profile kind of career. What would you say to some of the young minds as to how should they really prepare in a way that they do not really get disheartened, confused, or lose the track or focus?
So I think the exam is harsh in the sense that the number of applicants in the exam is quite high with respect to vacancy there is. But when one person starts, he knows the odds of it. So I was very much clearly knew that the odds are against. I mean, for aspirant, if you calculate the probability, the odds are obviously against. But I believe that when opportunity, when one gate closes, the other opens up. So one has to be open-minded, be honest to themselves and their family and their friends about the preparation. And God forbid if they don't see, they don't get what they think they would like to, then I think there would be ample opportunity. I've seen people, my friends who could not clear, but they are doing well. They join back in private sector.
I mean, you can't strictly define success according to...
Yeah, this is very subjective, and I think life is much bigger than the exam itself.
Yeah. Coming down to now the new role that you are in, and we were just sharing that the place that you belong to is Jharkhand. And I think it gives you, where you are currently in terms of responsibility, a lot of opportunity also, because we are in an era that people are looking at governance, people are expecting a lot as to how, you know, they get their needs fulfilled. How would you really look at this citizen centricity that today the government is focusing on?
So I belong to Jharkhand and my cadre is also Jharkhand. So I underwent training in West Singhbhum district of Jharkhand, and which is like unfortunately the most backward district of the country. So there is immense expectation from the people to deliver, and since we have joined the service, it is a service we have to deliver and maybe reach out an extra mile for them to get the services which they deserve right now. So the pressure is immense, and it really makes difficult the circumstances are down sometimes becomes challenging, but the services is such that we have to deliver to the best of we can.
And how can one be innovative there? I mean, there are routine things to do, but how can one be innovative to really, again, make governance more accessible, more transparent, ethical? These are the things being talked about.
So generally it is believed that the government works in silos. So to reach out to people in a far-flung areas like in Jharkhand, the West Singhbhum district, so we have to reach out to civil societies, NGOs and other social sector who works for the development and welfare of the people. One thing, and since the advancement of technology, we can include technology in our administration, the recent development, so that we can effectively deliver and there is transparency and accountability in the process.
So you're saying basically there has to be more focus on e-governance. It makes things easy for everyone.
Definitely the focus is on e-governance, and that clearly is expectation of the government, presently the government of India and the government of Jharkhand. So we have realized that if we take the help of e-governance, the delivery is effective and transparent, and it becomes more inclusive and reduce the exclusion. We have seen recent initiatives in terms of DBT and all. We have seen there's drastic improvement in the efficiency of the government.
You've just attended a session, as an assistant secretary. What would you say are the learnings at this stage, particularly that you are getting into?
I think the focus is on the delivery aspects. The government is very clear that the benefits, the schemes, that the entitlements, the rights that are made available by the government should reach the beneficiary and should reach in a very efficient and inclusive manner. So I think our focus in the coming years would be to have this schemes, just the output, the outcome is maximum. So that would be the focus in the coming years.
And looking at the future now, so Vision India in 2047, 25 years hence, what do you think India should be, and how do you see your own role in contributing to that vision? The country presently is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, taking a pause at 75 years of the independence, looking forward to how the country would look like at 2047 when we celebrate 100 years of independence. So basically, I feel that still the country has progressed a lot in the last 75 years, but there are gaps, and we need to provide basic infrastructure, basic things like roti, kapda and makan to like far-flung areas in Jharkhand and other backward districts. So I think our target would be to have this basic facilities available to these people, and more of we need to catch up with the global. So we want to become a global superpower, so we need to catch up with developed countries like US, Canada and other European countries. So one hand you're saying that we have to be at par, or at least try to be at par with the global standards. At the same time, we have to look at our inner challenge also of catering to the basic needs of the people.
Yes, sure.
So that's very well put and shared. And any other message that you'd like to share here? A lot of people will be watching this interview.
I think one needs to be honest to himself to work in whatever sector they are, and they can contribute to the country and in the development of the country. So I think as I said, the life is big. Life is quite big, and we can make most of it by looking towards the opportunity and by converting challenges to opportunity.
By converting challenges into opportunities. Very well summed up, Mr. Ravi Jain. Thank you so much, and all the best in your future career and endeavors as well. And that was Ravi Jain talking to us here at IIPA Stalwarts Speak. I hope you enjoyed the interview and also took some inputs and learning from there. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.